And right now we're going to ask Noel lots of questions. Hello, Noel Gaga.
Hello, Joe Wiley. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm fine, thank you. You were a bit poorly last time we spoke, but you're better now.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a cold the last couple of weeks, but I've soldiered on. You know.
Okay, yeah. Bit of a gravelly tone to your voice at the moment, I think.
Yes, indeed. Yes, but I'll be all right later on.
Okay, right. We've got a ton of questions here, which we're going to ask. So all of these sent in by our listeners on text and email and everything, so stand by. This is from John Italiano, who says, what does it take to blow Noel Gallagher's mind these days, or is everything just so predictable?
I don't know, I'm still kind of discovering stuff from the 60s. I'm sure he means musically.
I'm sure it's quite a broad question, actually.
Well,
so
my sons blow my mind. Young kids growing up and the nonsense they come out with is mind blowing and funny. My daughter, she is incredible. She blows my mind. I was going to say my wife, but she gets too many props off me, so forget that one.
You talk about your wife so many times, and you obviously absolutely and utterly adore her. So you do a lot of PR for her. No, obviously she's not going to know about this at all. No, but the last great row, there must be times when you spark, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's great because she's from Edinburgh in Scotland, and they kind of posh. But when she blows, she gets really Scottish, which I find hilarious. She gets a bit like Rabsy Nesbitt, or it all goes a bit Braveheart in the kitchen. It's just like, wow, you're gonna pull the dagger out now, are you?
So when have you annoyed her then? What's she told you off about?
Because we got a new dog at the minute.
Oh, what have you got?
It's a little dog. It's like a Jack Russell with big long legs. It's crossed with a pinch. It's a rescue dog.
Okay.
And I'm having nothing to do with it.
What's it called?
It's called Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, named after my favourite Who album. He was already called Tommy when we got him.
Okay.
But I'm having nothing to do with the dog at the minute. I don't want a relationship with him because I don't want to be a dog person. Because it's not who I am. You know what I mean? And
what kind of, are you an any animal person?
Do you know what? We've had a cat for years, and I wasn't really that fussed about the cat, but I love him now because he keeps himself to himself. He's kind of, me and him will sit on the couch going, dog. Whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, high fiving the cat, you know. We'll get rid of him by the end of the summer.
Dogs are too needy, is that what you're saying? They're just too enthusiastic.
At you going, play with me. It's like, go away. Yeah, so the last time we fell out was probably over the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, she got very Scottish, yeah.
And things that blow your mind, and in terms of like society and culture, I guess, are you a little bit...
Society, for all the wrong reasons, unfortunately. Recently, with the things in Paris and all that, it's mind-blowing to think of the depths of depravity people will stoop to, and the thing at the Bataclan and all that is just... And things like that don't really affect me. But the fact that it was a band that you've seen before, and you see them at festivals, and I've played that venue, and I've been in there when they showed the shots of it. It was just like, it's all a bit too close to home, and that really affected me for a while. So that, unfortunately, it's bad things that are blowing my mind at the minute. But musically, I'm still discovering things from the 60s and 70s that are just like, wow, have I not heard that before?
How do you find them? Where do you go to record shops?
Good Lord, no. I'm lucky enough to know quite a few kind of cosmic out there DJ kind of fellas, you know what I mean? And they kind of send me stuff, and if they send you like a CD with 10 tracks on, that will lead you to hunt on the internet, and you find more stuff and all that. So as for modern music, the last thing that I really kind of thought was great was that Foles record, was the new one. Yeah, I seen him on Jules, and it was... Wow, it was really great.
Great live as well. Yeah. I was expecting you to say Coldplay, the Coldplay album.
The Coldplay album? Yeah, have they got an album out? I hadn't heard. No, I think Coldplay, they're all right. I think this album, if anyone's not heard it, will definitely cement their place as the 13th greatest band of all time.
Which they'll be happy with.
They'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm on it, giving it a little bit of credibility and gravitas, can only do wonders for its record sales. Chris knows that, which is why he asked me. So, but yeah, I do believe they've got a record coming out. It's out now, yeah.
What did you think of the statement that Chris Martin said about how he's like your younger brother who likes ballet?
I've had there's been a few people on the radio recently talking about how nice I am, and I keep finding out saying, don't say I'm lovely and sweet.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
He's not.
Because I'm not.
No.
You know what I mean? I was like, no, you really are. No, I'm not. I'm not any of those things. And But yeah, me and Chris have been friends for ages. But he's
But when did that start? Because you weren't always friends.
No, we were.
Was there a reason?
I met him at V Festival when they had the first album out, and the first thing he ever said to me was he gave me a drink and said, "Would you like to come and meet my mum and dad?" And I was kind of what? You know, and I went to meet his mum and dad, who were like two of the officially nicest people in all of England. And I'm a sucker for people coming up to me telling me I'm great. So he got off on the right foot, you know. He was, "Oh, you're brilliant, your songs." I was like, you know what? I like you.
Have you ever got him drunk? Have you ever seen him drunk?
I've seen him a bit rosy in the face, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, actually, and I've been to a party at his house. He was... you know what he's like.
He doesn't need a drink to be enthusiastic, to be honest with you, does he?
No, he
Let's
doesn't,
ask another question. This is from Mark Beck on Twitter, who says, what was the hardest moment in your musical career?
I think leaving Oasis. Was a horrible night. And
This was the night in Paris.
Yeah. And I knew it was a decision that was gonna, and it still follows me around, you know. Not a day goes by where I don't read something about was getting back together. So I knew what I was getting myself into when I did that. That was probably the toughest thing I've ever had to do.
Was it the right thing to do?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think we were going to go and do anything. I think what Oasis had in its future left was to just do more bigger tours and generate more money and all that kind of thing. And it came, which is great. And if I didn't have, I mean, I wasn't planning on going solo, but it just became such a horrible mess to be in. It's like, I think I'm better off. I'll be happier if I'm not in this. You know what I mean?
How do you wish that things were different then? Was it?
What,
I mean, it's obviously the conflict between you and Liam that was at the heart of it all.
I wish, and this is all in hindsight, I wish that we hadn't have broke up, that we all just agreed that we were all going to go and do different things, and maybe one day, you know, we would get back together. But it all got a bit vicious and all that. And yeah, I wish that would handle differently. But really, I've not got really many regrets over it, to be honest.
And the relationship between you now, you're friends and you're talking, as well as being brothers, because you can be brothers, but you don't have to be friends, do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's difficult for people to understand, to be in a working relationship with somebody for 20 odd years is difficult enough when they're when you're so close to each other. I've been since children. It's really, really difficult. And then when that breaks down, that's it. And there's a whole mess that's gone on around it. But I've no doubt that one day, you know, it'll be fine again, I think.
Will you be seeing him at Christmas time?
No.
This is from Spud on Twitter. What is Noel's favourite flavour of ice cream? We've got bets on this.
Oh, okay. I'm not really big on ice cream, but the Viennette's always good, isn't it? The mint one.
Mint Viennetta.
Yeah, that's all right.
Not Neapolitan.
No. If I'm going to go and get an ice, the mint chocolate thing, that's good.
Okay, I lost that bet.
Yeah.
This is from Gary Santa from Swineshead.
Hang on a minute, someone's shaking their head there. What? Mint and chocolate in the same thing? I mean, what? It's like Lennon and McCartney, isn't it?
The ultimate.
Not literally, but you know.
Gary Santa from Swineshead in Lincolnshire. I seem to recall a certain John Squire joining Oasis on stage for Champagne Supernova. Is there any chance that we may get lucky and see you returning the favour and joining the Stone Roses at any point?
I'd love to see Ian Brown sing Champagne Supernova. You mean, am I going to go with the Stone Roses when they play? Nah.
Would you?
Nah, if they asked, I mean, yeah, but I'm not planning on going to the gigs, so no.
You wouldn't go? Or
I didn't really go to the last ones. I seen them. I did a few gigs with them, and if they're going to make a new record, I'll go see doing that. But I've seen them before, so you know.
That's the point. Martin Rose on Twitter. If you'd never made it with Oasis, are you confident that you would ever have made it?
You know, I do get asked that a lot, and you kind of think, well, would I have been that bothered? I wasn't really that driven. But then again, I think, well, I would really be living in a world where Live Forever had never been written, or people had never heard Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger. So I think in the case of the songs, those songs had to be written by someone. So I think I definitely wouldn't have been as great as it was, for sure. It might have been like a lower level kind of thing, but because like Liam made it, took it, you know, it was a kind of he was one of the last great rock stars, and he made it what it was, I think.
This is Oasis recording info on Twitter. Did you keep the tapes of the 80s acid house tracks that you made with Mark Coyle, and would you consider releasing them? What is this about?
There was only one song. Well, when Acid House kicked off, I've been friends with Mark Coyle since the mid-80s. We didn't, we were always playing guitars around the house. We didn't
Mark
play.
Coyle being?
He co-produced Definitely Maybe, and he was our front of house guy for years until he went deaf. And no one played guitars for about 2 years in Manchester between 87 and 89, and all the studios were converted into samplers and all that, and we did some acid house music. The only remaining copy is owned by my DJ Phil Smith, who happened to be around at the time, and he does play it from time to time. It doesn't sound too bad. Okay. It doesn't sound too good either, I've got to say.
I'm sure it probably doesn't. And I was reading about your family, and your mum lives in... It was pretty hardcore where you grew up.
Yeah.
And your mum is still in the same kind of area,
Still
and all
in
your
the same
relatives?
house. Yeah.
Same house?
Still in the same house. They all live within a 5-mile radius of each other.
So
Yeah.
what's it like when you go back there? And the old relatives, like the aunts and the uncles? And
Oh, they're great. They're great. The Irish are just... They'll keep your feet on the ground for sure. And they never acknowledge that you're even in a band. They're just like, how are you doing? How are things in London? What's the weather like down there? Oh, geez, must be an awful lot of people down there. Oh, I couldn't live down there. And you're just like, you'd have just come out of the firehouse with Bono at 6 a.m. or something. And they're talking about dogs and, what you did when you were 4 months old and stuff.
But that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they're great. My mum's side of the family, they're amazing. Yeah.
This is from Dan Riley on Facebook. Would you ever let BDI cover High Flying Birds? And do you think it'd be any good? I think you'd like it.
I mean, what's his name who said that question?
Oh, I can't remember now. Dan Riley.
Dan, okay, Dan. Well, I don't know whether this is going to blow your mind or probably ruin your day, but BDI have now split up. So the chances of that happening are zero.
Happen,
I don't think it's going to happen, no. But you never know, they might get back together one day.
Enjoy the concert tonight. What have we got lined up?
Well, because it's an acoustic stripped back thing, I don't really get, when I do the High Flying Birds thing, I don't really get to play as many Oasis songs as I would like, because it would turn into an Oasis tribute thing. But to do it like a one-off thing like this, acoustically, I'm going to play mostly Oasis B-sides, and if anybody, well, most people are aware that the B-sides are probably better than most of the singles.
I always thought so.
I've seen you eyeing the set list up down there saying that's one of my favourites,
No, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's mostly Oasis B-sides, and some couple of new ones.
And the future, what's happening for the future? Third album on the way?
Yeah. Just come out of a meeting about it now, actually.
How's it sounding? What kind of a flavour?
It's going to be great.
Obviously, it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. I'm attempting to do this thing that I'm writing in the studio for the first time, because usually I kind of go in with all the songs written. So I'm writing in the studio, and I can't believe I've never done it before. It's so exciting because you're discovering the music each day you're in there. So I'm a bit of the way through it. By the end of January, I will have nailed about 6 songs, I hope. And
beats driven, dance kind of feel?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to say, but it's very eclectic.
Okay.
Yeah, there's guitars and beats and blah blah blah.
Thank you. It's lovely to talk to you.
Thank
Always
you very
is.
much. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed.